Recently, there had been a breaking inside one of the old houses on Cotton Belt Road with a couple of kids breaking and entering. Me and my partner went in and explored and found this thing. But before we could find out what the thing was, it ran off. But I left some pages behind which told a story about a little girl named Casey and her friend Georgie. In the story, they were heading to the special spot, but then were intervened by Georgie's bully Jack. And that was the last page. A couple minutes later, Officers Alexander and Lucas were joining in on an investigation. Looking for the kids as we explained it. They ran through the forest, the monster. We tried to look for it, but we couldn't find it. We couldn't get any leads. Eventually we had no choice but to investigate again the next day. During that night, I was looking through old files when I stumbled on a name apparently infamous called Demmed House. Apparently the people who lived there was called the Caswells. There were 4 members in the family. But oddly enough, only the names of the mother and daughter was there. The other ones have been crossed out. That's odd. Usually cases like these don't have names crossed out. But I continue on. Basically, in 1958, Casey went missing and never to be seen or heard from again. Apparently she had visions and heard things around her that wasn't there. She was diagnosed with schizophrenia. It's a mental disorder where people see hallucinations and can hear it easily. Oddly enough, the day before she went missing, she had a vision of a man in the blue coming to pick her up to help her in this mission. Her parents had no idea what it meant. Suddenly, my headache from earlier came back extremely strong this time. But it was like I saw flashes of life that I never even known was there. But it was so fast that I couldn't even tell what it was. Only 5 months later, Casey's mother, Carrie Caswell, would go missing. Suddenly, never to be seen from again. No one knows how. She just went missing one day. And to this day, it remains a mystery how. Well, anyway, I had to get some rest. The next day, I woke up a little later than usual because of my headache. Coming back at night, it didn't leave for a while, honestly. This time I woke up around 12 p.m. with a phone call. "Hello," I responded. "Hey, Terrance, we got something," said Officer Jimmy. "What is it? Did you find the kids?" I said. "No, we have not found the kids yet, but we have a tape, and it has your name written on it." "What? I don't remember a tape at all," I thought to myself. "Where did you find it?" I said. "We found it under a table, in the toys room." And then it hit me. That was the same spot I was hiding at the day before. But that also means the thing went back inside when I left that room and left that tape there. So I told Jimmy, "Send it over to the office, I'll review the tape." Half an hour passed, and I'm in my office, and the tape has been left on my desk. And the VCR is surprisingly already hooked up. I put the tape in the VCR and began playing the tape. But no way in the world would anyone ever expect what I was about to witness. The tape started showing 2 teens playing in a snowball fight. The date was March 4 to 2:46 p.m. The kids' names are Anthony and Ruben, the same kids who went missing from the monster recently. This must have been before the break-in, for a while, honestly. It seems like there were normal kids having fun until 6:20 p.m. when Ruben had an idea, and Ruben suggests about going inside the abandoned house on Cotton Belt Road because of the rumors they've heard about the bad events of the Caswells. They were curious, and the two made a plan. The plan was to find a place, steal old stuff, and sell it, profit. That was literally what was written on the board, so... In the video, the kids prepare to get ready, and then we cut back to the kids breaking into the house through the back window. The same window the monster jumped out of. They broke in at 3:05. First, it's the same stuff I saw before. Until they go upstairs. There's one hallway and 3 rooms. They go to the main room. Suddenly I get a massive headache and a flash of a bedroom pops up in my head. But I try to focus on the video harder to see what happens. I notice the hallway is old and rotting, like the rest of the house. And the paintings were definitely decaying, but I also noticed the faces of the mother and daughter were distorted in some scenes. Only the father and son looked normal. The kids in the video find pages on the floor. Suddenly I realized it was page 6. It said, "Then Jack hurt my friend's bike," showing the bully Jack kicked the bike away. But clearly Anthony didn't think much about it, and he started making fun of it with his friend Ruben, calling it a work of garbage and a Noble trash prize. But they looked more into it when they found more of these pages. They found page 8, then 7, then 9, then 10. Page 7 tells us, we got to the spot and saw stars, showing the kids looking up, but a dark figure in the background was still watching them. Page 8 said, then the man came down and said things, and showed the dark figure still appearing dark, but now I could tell he was blue and wearing a fedora covering his face. Then page 9 says, he said bad things will happen when we don't help, showing us the man talking but with scribbles in it. And this made me just ask more questions like, what was he talking about bad things will happen but they don't help him? Suddenly in the video, Ruben's hallway had suddenly just appeared out of the middle of nowhere. You could tell that hallway was not there earlier, and it was much more different. It didn't look like the rest of the house at all. Instead of rotting or run down, it looked brand new, modern, clean, and well managed with arts on the wall. It looked like a fancy house from that era. Ruben goes up ahead first. He goes up to the only door, and he notices a paper on the floor. It said, but we were scared, so we ran from home, showing the kids running home, a little scared as the dark figure watched them run. But then they turned the page expecting a blank as usual, but then this time, it shows the kids the soul face smiling with the text, unfortunately, you lost the truths. Suddenly the tape starts glitching out hard. As the door opens, just obvious, Ruben screaming, "What is that thing?" As he starts screaming loudly and crying, as Anthony tries to run for it down the stairs. Then the tape starts working again. Anthony's going down the stairs when he hears police sirens pull up, which were us. He tries running down the stairs and hide from the monster in the kitchen. And on camera, he sees the monster approaching him, now covered in blood and dragging his friend's face. His face has been torn off, and he was still screaming for help as the monster gets back inside. Anthony is terrified and can't believe seeing his friend bleeding and saying he could pass out any moment. But then suddenly the monster walks towards the kitchen looking for him. He thinks that the monster's gone because it headed upstairs. When he suddenly hears noise of the door or window opening, when he's seeing his own window still free. But as soon as he tries, he sticks his head out from the table to make a run for it. He feels a drippiness coming from the roof, but it's slimy and sticky. As he looks up, he gets a much detailed, better look than I did of the monster. His head was filled with fingers acting as hairs, and white pupilless eyes, but his face was like in the mask of a little girl. Cuts that opened up her face, revealing a black, bloody, four sets of razor teeth. Through it, his teeth was a sinister smile. Suddenly, Anthony screams and gets attacked scream before the camera stops recording. But then the tape cuts back shockingly at 3:45 a.m. after we had seen the monster. The tape was still going on. The tape starts working again. We see Anthony with the camera seeing Ruben passed out, bleeding corpse as he opens his eyes. And a symbol on the floor in the middle of the forest, which I realized was the same special spot that the kids go in the story. In the video, it shows two similar looking monsters. The one we've seen before, and now a completely new one. What is seen in the pit is a pile of bones behind Anthony. Then Anthony, out of fear, says, "What do you want from me?" Then the monster from before says in the same distorted tone. But Anthony, confused, says, "What did you say?" The monster says, Then the other monster moves Ruben to the symbol on the floor. At first nothing happens, but then a light appears from the sky. And then, out of nowhere, shakiness, showing a monster with 10 tentacles, each one the size of a large house, with one big, bulky eye, and eyes around it, surrounding it with its massive teeth. As it opens its mouth, showing its 5 sets of deadly teeth, I am left shocked and horrified at what I'm seeing. The tape glitches out a lot until cutting back to Anthony being screaming repulsively. Slowly, piece by piece, as he screams in true pain. Then the tape cuts out. But then the tapes come back with text. Especially Ruben, Josh, Elon, Henry, Houston, Side, Kyle, Stacy, Shannon, Michaela, Maculizzo, Neo, Norman,
Carrie, I know you're watching this, Terrance. What can you do what you saw? I say you don't know who I am. Trust me, you will. So what got you? So try all you want, Terrance.
Then the tape gets out into static, leaving terrified, confused, scared as fuck of what I just saw. I tried to pull out the tape, but it broke the moment I pulled it out. I mean, my evidence is destroyed, and only I will have ever watched this tape. I have so many questions right now. What was that thing? What does it want? What does it mean it's ending? What's ending? And what does it mean by offering? Like, to some god or something? I have no idea. All I know is that that thing is out there, waiting for someone to come along and become its next meal. What if Casey wasn't crazy? What if she was right about these men? I remember from the tape, I realized the face of the monster looked like Casey's from the story. It was put on it like a mask, which must mean the monster must have gone to her first. I tried to fall asleep that night, but I couldn't get that thought out of my head to see what happens next and whatever that thing is. But recently I had a dream when I did fall asleep, which showed me into a house, but I can't control what I did. I walked into the same abandoned house, but it looked different. Everything looked modern and new. And I noticed the hallway from the video. So I walked towards it and opened the door, and then I turn around and see its face, the thing's face just looking at me. And then I suddenly look up and wake up. But the creepiest part is that when I went to my front door, there was inside a package, a box with a note saying everyone's last sight, before showing pictures of the names from the tapes. But every picture was the same hallway. Every single time. Every time I looked through that box, it was just the same hallway. There was almost no difference. It was just the same hallway. And then the last photo sent shivers down my spine. It showed an old black and white photo showing Casey looking at the camera, peeking out of the room at the end of the hall. The hallway that I've seen so many times. And the text says underneath, Mommy. Hey guys, thanks for watching the video. Sorry it took so long, a lot of things happened this week, so it slowed down the process. And it was a bigger video compared to the last one, so thank you. I appreciate all of you for waiting to watch this video. And in the future, there will be more videos, trust me. Like and subscribe, and as always, good night everybody.
We green.